No president has been willing to do this. In 47 years, they built a conventional force like North Korea. That's how they got the bomb, with so much weaponry that no one wanted to confront them. President Trump was willing and still is to this day. Iran had chances to negotiate and be reasonable in the Strait of Hormuz, but if they attack commercial ships, we will strike them. As the president said, 10 times stronger, and we are weakening them every night. And the president has all the necessary options. Want to talk? Great. If not, they'll have the military. We are ready.
Iran loses hope after Trump wins Lebanon over in a personal meeting at the White House to strategize. And the president rejects the 10-day ceasefire proposed in the last few hours. The pressure exploded during the meeting between Donald Trump and Lebanese President Joseph Aoun at the White House. While Tehran was trying to secure a pause in the attacks through regional negotiators, Trump received a plan from Beirut. A plan to disarm Hezbollah, expand the Lebanese army's control in the south, and advance the withdrawal of Israeli forces. The request for a ceasefire did not come only from the mediators. According to sources interviewed by the Jerusalem Post, Iran itself secretly initiated the proposal and then allowed officials from Qatar, Egypt, Oman, and Pakistan to present the plan to the United States. Tehran wanted a 10-day pause to try to reverse and recover the provisional agreement that collapsed after new disputes in the Strait of Hormuz. Officials linked to the Trump administration described the format as absurd and illogical.
From what I understand, the proposal under discussion is a 10-day ceasefire. Yeah, the last ceasefire failed. So, what gives you new hope that the 10-day or 20-day or 13-day or 4-day ceasefire will be any different? No. What has changed in the dynamics? And from what I see, nothing. The Iranians seem even more encouraged. Yes. So maybe you can gain 3 days. You can, and here's the problem, besides the military issue. Let's suppose the president announces a 10-day ceasefire and it collapses in 4 or 6 days. Now you've spent political capital and you look weaker. My point is that there is more political and military risk in betting on an agreement with a low probability of success than in intensifying actions. I mean, at some point you'll have to do it. Don't you have any other option?
Trump did not accept a short pause without concrete guarantees. Washington demands that at least part of the rules for freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz be settled before the attacks are halted. The United States also wants a longer ceasefire and a commitment that does not allow Iran to use 10 days to reorganize its forces, hide equipment, and return to threatening commercial ships as soon as the period ends. In this content published by Mario Naufal, the proposal to create a central corridor in the Strait of Hormuz appears. The passage would be between waters controlled by Oman and Iran and would be used to protect the transit of commercial vessels. The idea seemed to offer a quick solution, but it did not provide the permanent freedom of navigation demanded by Trump. For the White House, opening a temporary corridor without resolving Iranian control over the region would only postpone the next crisis. The American government also made it clear that Iran will still have to pay for the violations of the Memorandum of Understanding and for the deaths of American service members in recent attacks in Jordan and Iraq. An American official stated that the devastating strikes will continue until Trump decides otherwise. In the video published by Clash Report, a reporter questions Trump about the lack of signs that Iran is willing to stop fighting. Trump counters the question and says that there are conversations that do not appear publicly. Sir, there are no signs that Iran is willing to stop fighting. So what's the plan? Bomb until yes, yes.
There are no signs that Iran is willing to stop fighting. So what's the plan? Bomb them until they give up?
How would you know if there are no signs? Do you know something I don't?
They're attacking our allies.
You ignore the back channels where they are trying to meet so they can end this.
The Iranians desperately want a meeting to try to end the confrontation. The American president stated that he is not interested in negotiating until Tehran agrees to a truly serious and productive meeting. This statement destroys the notion that Iran is comfortable with the war continuing. Tehran secretly presented a proposal, sought out mediators, and is now trying to secure a pause while American attacks intensify. Trump decided to keep the door only partially open. Talks may continue, but the bombs won't stop just because the regime asked for 10 days. The pressure became even more brutal when Trump spoke about Pickaxe Mountain, an underground complex near Natanz. Intelligence information provided by Israel indicates that thousands of centrifuges may have been moved to deep tunnels in that area. In the video released by Clash Report, Trump states that the United States is monitoring the material and that the region will likely be hit soon and with enormous force. Trump acknowledged that Washington still does not have full confirmation about everything that was placed inside the mountain. Even so, he warned that the site is in their sights.
Do you think Iran has transferred nuclear centrifuges to Pickaxe Mountain? And when you say we're not done yet, what is still missing?
Well, I think they may have done that. We don't have that on record. All we do is read the fake news, So maybe this time they're right, but that's okay. It doesn't matter without the material. Are you talking about the centrifuges? Yes. That doesn't mean anything without the material. They don't have it because we monitor everything. The action is there and we should strike the area very soon. And there's nothing they can do. I wouldn't say this if I thought they could do something about it, but we're going to strike that area soon.
The possible transfer of centrifuges shows that the regime tried to protect parts of the nuclear program in a facility that's harder to reach. The response announced by the American president was frightening for Tehran. Hiding the equipment doesn't mean the hiding place will remain untouched. Another video shows Trump stating that the Iranians still don't know the full extent of the destruction caused by the United States. He says that abandoning the operation now would already allow them to declare great success. The message is that the campaign is not over yet and could enter a more intense phase if Tehran continues to resist Washington's conditions.
Now no one knows except the Iranians the damage we caused them. We caused damage that will take them 20-25 years to recover from. So if we left tomorrow, we would have already had great success. But we're not leaving tomorrow.
The Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, emphasizes that Iran has been given opportunities to negotiate and demonstrate responsibility in the Strait of Hormuz. According to him, when Iranian forces attack maritime trade, the United States responds with much greater intensity. Hegseth states that the regime's capability is reduced night after night, especially at points used to threaten ships, launch drones, and deploy missiles near the trade route. It is at this moment that Trump brings Lebanon into his regional strategy. Joseph Aoun arrived at the White House with a written proposal to remove Hezbollah's weapons and put the Lebanese state in control of security. It was the first visit by a Lebanese president to the White House in almost 2 decades. Aoun considers Trump the authority with enough power to pressure Israel for a gradual withdrawal and to guarantee support for the Lebanese army. Hours before the meeting, Lebanese soldiers began entering areas in the south linked to the agreement negotiated by the United States. The process involves test zones in which the Lebanese army must search for weapons, dismantle Hezbollah structures, and prevent the group from using the villages for military purposes again. The complete Israeli withdrawal still depends on the outcome of these operations, but the move puts official Lebanese forces in areas previously dominated by the militia backed by Iran. In this video posted by Mario Naufal, Trump appears sitting next to Aoun and publicly praises the Lebanese president. He says the leader is highly respected and their relationship is very good.
It is a great pleasure to be with you, Mr. President of Lebanon. He is highly respected in his country and, in fact, far beyond his country. We have already spoken before on several occasions through representatives, and the relationship is very good. I think Lebanon has been a country that has been mistreated for a long period of time. It's an incredible group of people, teachers, doctors, lawyers.
Aoun didn't go to Washington to defend Hezbollah. He paved the way to weaken the group, restore Lebanon's sovereignty, and bring Beirut closer to the United States. Trump promised to help Lebanon and stated that the nation needs to be treated with respect again. This rapprochement is a painful defeat for Iran because Hezbollah has always been one of Tehran's main tools to pressure Israel and influence decisions within Lebanese territory. Now, the president of Lebanon is asking for American support precisely to dismantle this armed force. Trump also surprised everyone by saying that he could talk directly with Hezbollah if Aoun considered it necessary. He then raised the possibility of Syria taking part in the effort against the group. In the video published by Clash Report, Trump praises the current Syrian president and says that he has been fighting Hezbollah for a long time.
Tony Moraes, LBC TV from Lebanon. Do you still support Syria's entry into Lebanon to disarm Hezbollah?
Do you mean going in and doing something against Hezbollah?
Yes.
Well, it's a concept. You know, we get along well with the president of Syria. He did a very good job. I wouldn't be surprised if this gentleman did the same kind of work. He united Syria. He would like to come in and do something about Hezbollah. Do you know if they've been fighting? He has been fighting against Hezbollah for a long time. I think it would be very effective.
The proposal is still just a concept, but it reveals how Washington is trying to box in Iran's apparatus from different directions. Marco Rubio had already explained that Hezbollah will not be displaced by attacks alone. The strategy is to strengthen the Lebanese government and army until they are the only recognized armed forces within the nation. Investments, reconstruction, and state presence in the south are also part of the plan. This way, the population starts to receive security and protection services. Beirut, not from an organization funded and armed by Iran. In the video published by Clash Report, Trump is also questioned about his own security during this tense moment. He replies that he feels safe and asks why he wouldn't feel safe. The scene took place in the presence of Aoun, members of the American government, and journalists in the Oval Office. While Tehran was seeking an urgent pause, Trump used the meeting to announce nuclear pressure, reject a weak truce, and consolidate a plan against Hezbollah. Inside Lebanon itself, Iran spent the last hours facing 3 simultaneous blows. The 10-day ceasefire did not move forward in the proposed format. Pickaxe Mountain was publicly added to the list of possible targets. And the Lebanese president handed Trump a plan to disarm the largest Iranian proxy in Lebanon. Tehran tried to buy time, but Washington decided to demand permanent freedom in the Strait of Hormuz, punishment for attacks against Americans, and a definitive reduction of Iranian influence in Beirut. Thank you very much for watching this video until the end. Support our project and contribute financially through the Pickaxe key that appears on your screen. We are an independent channel focused on bringing you the truth. Your contribution helps us keep going. Bye everyone.